short video on Bitcoin and where we are right now and where I think we could be heading using some technical analysis. Um, we're at a very, very interesting period right now. I'll just go through that very briefly. For those of you who are quite new to Bitcoin, I'll just do a very quick recap as to the journey, really. And it's been an incredible journey, and it's come to light. So, just a quick heads up on what's in front of you. So, the charting platform I'm using is TradingView. I've cropped the screen so you only see what's necessary. On the right hand side, we've got the price, which is in dollars. Currently, you can see in the red, we're at $9,284. Along the bottom, we've got the date. So you can see today is the 6th of July, 2020. And it's a weekly, where you've got the 1W here, it's a one weekly candle. So each candle represents 1 week of activity, which gives you a lot of information, really. Obviously, you can always go into, for example, this is the 4 hour chart here as well. So you can see it gets a bit more sort of intraday here, but I'm going to go into the weekly so we can see the bigger picture. So if we have a look back here, sort of 2013, which is when Bitcoin was sort of invented almost, it's like, $100, $200. It got to $1,000 initially. We're going back to even before I had heard of Bitcoin, I'll be honest with you, September 2013. Then we sort of just hovered around sort of $400, $500. Then we hit the top. So if I zoom into this area over here, we sort of hit it, retraced, and we broke above it. And this was in April 2017. Price went up, tried to pull back, didn't even get back to this level, but it created a demand zone. I'm going to highlight this because this could be very important in the future. I hope not, but it could be. We then pushed up. We then sort of created another demand zone, and this is where the very infamous sort of push up happened, where it's a parabolic rise, which means it's just going up like a rocket, basically. Where all the hype, all the greed, and everybody's getting sucked in and thinking we're all gonna, it's gonna go to £1 million, $1 million even, and and then it basically came crashing down. But what happened here along the way down, I'm not going to go into each particular demand zone, but there are some very, very interesting points worth noting. So, for example, here there's a very strong supply that was created. And you can see what happened later, sort of more recently, last year, exactly a year ago, actually. Prices went up all the way from, after hovering around the $3,000, $4,000 mark, it went all the way up. Everybody was thinking it's going to keep going, but the supply was very strong. It actually pushed it all the way back down. Now, if we have a look, I'm just going to clean this up very quickly. Now, also, there is a trend line that's worth noting. Now, to start with, I'm going to put it here. I'll tell you why, because before we were respecting this trend line. So you can see we were never quite closing above the trend line. And then there was a point in February where we retested the trend line. We actually broke above it. There was a demand zone that was created here as well. And me included, I even took the trade. I thought, wow, we've finally broke this trend line after like 3 years or something. There's a very, very sort of 80% chance that we're going to hit this, and we're going to push on further, maybe to the next sort of supply, which would be around 16,000. But what happened, if we look at the date, February 2020, this is when coronavirus happened, and the whole, the stock market, everything actually crashed. And Bitcoin is actually very heavily correlated with the stock market. So if we have a look at the Dow Jones, which is a basket of the top 30 stocks in America, like Google, Apple, Tesla, so on, we can see here as well. So this is February period. It's been in an uptrend for, sort of decades. And then all of a sudden, whack, coronavirus came. It really completely whacked it down. And a few people who follow on Instagram, they know that I did mention this level as a possible retracement, and price, it's made a brilliant recovery. But now again, it's at this sort of retracement level where what's happening is we've just basically retraced. If I pull out the fib tool, you can see we basically retraced here. I think we are going to hit this level. I've even set an alert as well, where I do think there's going to be quite a pullback if there's a second wave of COVID. But if I go back to Bitcoin, which is obviously what we're talking about, again, we're at that period. So what happened is prices came down, and then it's actually come back into the same zone. So it made a massive recovery from sort of 3,500 sharp dip, went all the way back up, sort of 10,000, almost a $10,000 recovery. And now again, it's hovering around this area, which means if there's a second wave of COVID and the stock market crashes, very likely that this will crash as well. The fact that Bitcoin is now correlated with the stock market is a very good thing, because it shows that people don't just see it as a scam coin. It's actually something which investors, hedge funds, and others do see it as a tradable asset almost, and something that they do hold in their portfolios, which means that it will probably start respecting technical analysis a lot more than it does, even though it kind of does already, because it can be read, just as I'm going to show you right now. So if I just take this away quickly, just working on the trend line on the weekly basis. Now, after this trend line was void almost, where this broke down, if we touch as many tops as possible, so it doesn't have to be exact. So on a weekly level again, so you can see we haven't quite closed above this one. We never closed above there. Now where we are right now, look how many times we've actually come to the trend line and we've retested it. We've retested it. We've also created a very strong, this is like a flag pattern over here, where basically prices are being accepted. They're not pushing down, they're just kind of in a consolidating period. So this could actually become a floor. It could become a floor where prices might go up, come back here, come back here. It is a real possibility. Also worth noting that Paul Tudor Jones is a very famous hedge fund manager, probably one of the most famous traders of our generation. He also said he's adding Bitcoin to his portfolio around this time as well. So if he says something, obviously hedge funds and others are going to be listening. I think he said he's only going to add about 1% or something, but 1% of his money is a lifetime's wealth for most of us, if you like. So it's still a lot of money, but it's something which a lot of people are looking at. So you can tell this is a very key level, and the fact that prices have been accepted here is a very strong sign for prices to push up further. Alternatively, like I said, if this is a strong supply, which it is, because prices did plummet a huge amount. I mean, that is from there to there. That's like $6,000-7,000, which is massive drop really. So there's a lot of supply stuck in there. So if this holds strong, it will go up. Now the only problem, what I don't like the look of is the fact that we are still in a downtrend. Until we actually close above this figure here, which is 10,468, we're technically still just making lower highs and lower lows. So if you look here, lower high, lower low, even here, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. Now, if this is a lower high, the next spot that we could be coming down to is here, 2,500. Because this this demand here has already been tagged. It might be strong enough just to stop here, but I've got a very strong feeling that if we do go short, I would be looking to either trade it down to here or trade from here, one or the other. But either way, if I was to go short, I'd probably wait for a clean break of here, a retest of this sort of trend line and this supply zone, and then that'll take us sort of to this area, and then hopefully look for a push up. I mean, as most crypto holders do, we're always looking for a push up. Currently, I'm in a long trade because on an intraday there are still some really good opportunities. I'm just going to go into my trading view. This is my trading view account. I've only recently started posting analysis on there. I'm starting to get a few followers, so hey, might even start getting a bit famous on there. But generally, a bit of forex, a lot of crypto, so altcoins I've been posting on there as well. So some stellar gains, 50% here. There's some which are really good, some Ripple ones. Lisk, there's a 900% potential swing. Obviously, this is on a daily chart, so this could take weeks, months to play out. But if anyone knows altcoins, you know that they can really move. I posted EOS as well. I took this trade, and currently it's already in about 10% profit. So I'm hoping this carries on. I'm aiming, like about 250% on that would be very good. But I wanted to show you, getting distracted a little bit. Here we go. This is a Bitcoin swing high that I posted. I think it was on the 2nd of July, so sort of last Thursday, Friday. And this is on a 4-hour chart. So the weekly we were showing from here, and this is the sort of consolidation period. Now, what's happened is we had a strong push up, we had a pullback, and I believe that we are going to head towards this fresh supply. So I posted it. Now, what's happened here, you can see we went in, there was another supply here, it reacted to that, and I posted here just yesterday saying a great chance for re-entry has just presented itself. So anyone who missed the original opportunity had another chance to get in or add to their position, and you can see price has moved really nicely. I mean, there's already a sort of a 5% gain on that. But just to let you know, this platform is Bybit. Bybit is where we it's sort of more to accumulate your Bitcoin as opposed to the dollar value. So I'm just going to flick out of this back to the other one. So this one here, Bitcoin against the dollar. So what's happening here is if you, the same trade here would have been worth, let's say, in dollar value, without leverage, it'd be $466. But in a percentage, it'd be 5% gain on your Bitcoin. Obviously, if you're using leverage, if you're using 10x leverage, that would be a 50% increase on your Bitcoin value. I'd rather use this and altcoins to increase my Bitcoin value as opposed to my dollar value, because I'm a believer, one of the hodlers, the believers. I do believe that, there are going to be days. I mean, I've very briefly, I was one of the guys who, I got introduced to Bitcoin around 2017 when it was about $500-600. I accumulated a bit. I was using some online platform where you can earn cryptocurrencies, and I had Ethereum, Litecoin when it was $3 went up to sort of $500, and at that time even Bitcoin, I had about 10 Bitcoin, sold a lot at 1,000 because I couldn't believe it had gained 100%, and then obviously it carried on going up. I did hold a few more. But once it gets to 20, you think it's going to go to 1 million. And at that stage, I had no idea about bulls, bears, technical analysis, going short, going long, trend lines, supply, demand. I had, Fibonacci, no idea about anything. And, seeing your portfolio go up sort of 50x and then, across a series of altcoins and then come all the way down is obviously very painful. But there's always a lesson to be taken out of everything. And it did sort of alert me to think, right, I need to learn something so that I can make sure or try and limit any future damage and take advantage of opportunities when they present themselves, which is why I wanted to share this analysis so that anyone, whether you're a seasoned trader or whether you're a complete newbie, you've got an idea now. You should have a little bit of an idea, and whether you've got your own analysis, you can add this to your own thesis. But yeah, let me know in your comment section. This is the first ever video I'm doing on YouTube to share some kind of analysis. I will try and add a few more cryptos. If there's any that you want me to analyze, just let me know. But I'm going to try and share a few altcoins on here, just share a few analysis and hopefully help some people make some money out there as well. So yeah, excellent. So stay safe, everyone, and thank you. And yeah, like I said, please share, subscribe, and hopefully I'll add some more. Thank you.